Okay, so exponential graphs. We already spoke about the exponential graphs. Let's look at the basic one. Let's look again at y equal to 2 to the power x. Okay, very basic exponential graph. Y equal to 2 to the power x. Okay? We said that you can substitute 0, negative 1, and 1 to see what the graph would look like. So when you put in negative 1, you get a half. Okay, when you put in 0, you get out 1. And when you put in 1, you get out 2. So that's the substitution. Normally with the exponential graph, any exponential graph, normally when you put in negative 1, 0, and 1, it's enough. You should see what the graph is going to look like. So in this case, when I put negative 1 in, my input value x, I get y a half out. So it's going to be there. When I put 0 in, I get 1 out. So 0, 1. When I put 1 in, I get 2 out. Okay, it's going to be there. And then I can see what's going on. Okay, this one can be a little bit higher. And you should get the idea that it's going to go like this. It's going to go from there. It's going to go up. And it's going to increase like that. And this way, it's just going to come closer. Okay? So what you can remember with the exponential graph, okay, you would see if this was not enough for you and it almost looked like a straight line, you can put in 2 as well. When you put in 2, 2 to the power 2 is 4. So when you put in 2, you're going to get 4 out. Then you can clearly see it's going to go up very steep after 1. Okay, after the 1. 2 to the power 2, 4. Then you see, okay, it's going up. But don't put in 3 as well. Because then 3 squared is 9. Then it's getting very big. And your graph doesn't have to be that big. 3, maybe 4 or 5. Okay? This way also you can go up to 3 and negative 3. But for the y value, sometimes you can go up a bit higher, depending on the graph. Okay? So now I want to talk about reflections. Okay? A reflection that we're going to look at in grade 10 is a reflection in the x-axis. We reflect it from there to there. So basically the x-axis is your mirror. Okay? It becomes your mirror. So without showing you the equation, just thinking about it, if I use this line, the x-axis, as my symmetry line or my reflection line, and you have to reflect from there to there, you can think for yourself. That coordinate, a half, must go down to negative half. The 1 must go down to negative 1, and the 2 must go down to negative 2. That's just when you just think logically. Okay? If I want to reflect it from there to there, in the x-axis, those ones must go this way. Okay? So now you will see that your reflection is basically going to look something like this. Okay. Can you see it makes a reflection? Okay. Now what you will see with the graphs, with all of them, the parabola, the straight line, the hyperbola, and the exponential graph, is when you reflect it from this side to this side, you're actually taking the graph, okay, y to 2 to the power x, and you're multiplying the graph with a negative. That's why the half became negative half. The 1 became negative 1. The 2 became negative 2. Because what is the 2 there? Now that 2 is a y value. The y value there is 2. So now the y value becomes negative 2. The y value there was a half. Now the y value becomes negative half. So all the y values change signs. Okay? So that means by just thinking about it, the reflect, if this one is y equal to 2 to the power x, this one must be y equal to negative 2 to the power x. Okay, that's your reflection. So if I ask you in the test, this is the graph y to the 2 to the power x, what will be the graph of the reflection in the x-axis? Okay, the reflection in the x-axis, you can say it's going to be y to negative 2 to the power x. That's it. Okay? What about if we make it y equal to 2 to the power x plus 1? Let's say we say y equal to 2 to the power x plus 1. Okay? Now if you put in negative 1, you're going to get a half plus 1 is 1 and a half. Okay, 1 and a half. When you put in 0 now, you get 1 plus 1 is 2. And now when you put in 1, you get 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so when I look at the graph y equal to 2 to the power x plus 1, okay, basically as you can see everything shifts up 1 unit. So now the half is actually at 1.5. The 2 is at 3. The 1 is at 2. Everything just moves up 1 unit. Okay? So now the exponential graph is going to look like this. Okay. There's the exponential graph now. Everything just shifted 1 unit up. Okay? That's what the plus 1 does. The plus 1 means basically you take the graph and you add 1. You shifted 1 up. Okay? So now remember with this one, the asymptote was there, y equal to 0. Now, even the asymptote shifted 1 up. Now the asymptote will be here. Here's the asymptote now, y equal to 1. The asymptote also moves 1 unit up. Everything moves 1 unit up. When you take the exponential graph and you add 1 to it. So obviously if you make it 2 to the power x minus 1, everything shifts 1 unit down. If you make it y equal to 2 to the power x minus 4, everything shifts 4 units down. So the value, the constant value always shows you the asymptote. If it's plus 3, the asymptote will be y equal to 3. If it's minus 5, the asymptote will be y equal to negative 5. So the first thing you can put in is your asymptote. If it's just y equal to 2 to the power x, it still has an asymptote, but the asymptote is then y equal to 0. So even with the original one, you can put next to the original one here, where it's the x-axis, you can put in there y equal to 0, because that's your asymptote. Okay, now what about the reflection of this one? If I say what's the reflection in the x-axis of y equal to 2 to the power x plus 1, okay? Then you're going to say, again, the same thing happens. The 3 over 2, 1,5 must go to negative 3 over 2, negative 1,5. The 2 must go to negative 2. And the 3 there must go to negative 3. Everything just gets reflected. So even the y-axis, the asymptote, y equal to 1, it's an asymptote, goes to y equal to negative 1. So now at y equal to negative 1, you can make your asymptote negative 1, the asymptote, and then from the asymptote you know that these ones will now go down like that. And there's the reflection of that graph. So this one was y equal to 2 to the power x plus 1. This one will be y equal to negative 2 to the power x minus 1. Okay, so as you can see, it's not just this one that changes signs, this one also, the asymptote. The asymptote is y equal to 1, now the asymptote is y equal to negative 1. So basically we say, to sum it up, we say the reflection is when you multiply the graph by a negative. Okay, so the summary of this is reflection in the x-axis. Okay, there's the x-axis. When you reflect in the x-axis, okay, you can say, let's say the graph was fx. Then the new graph will be negative fx. So you take the graph fx, whatever the function is, and you multiply the function by a negative. And then you get the reflection in the x-axis. Okay.